Sony A7 Review. When we reviewed Sony's A7R mirrorless camera, we were thrilled by its combination of a full-frame image sensor and a compact body. The Sony A7 offers both, and yet it's even more affordable. It also boasts better autofocus and performance, but trades off some of its siblings' epic resolution to achieve these. We already knew the Sony A7 would be great, but we wanted to answer which was better, the Sony A7 or A7R? Does amazing image quality trump performance? Are you better off spending a little more, or can you be thrifty and still get the best full-frame mirrorless camera money can buy? A little over a decade ago, enthusiast photographers were clamoring for an affordable APS-C digital SLR. That dream has long since become a reality, but for some, the dream wasn't big enough. They've been asking for an altogether different, yet still affordable, camera. They needed it to have a bigger sensor, and to drop the bulky mirror box of an SLR. Until now, they could choose one or the other. Sony has changed all that, with the launch of the full-frame Sony A7 and A7R mirrorless cameras. The two cameras are very closely related, and in this first impressions review, we'll be looking at the Sony A7. It's the lower resolution of the two models, albeit still pretty high-res, compared to what's available in its mirrorless and DSLR rivals, but it has some important advantages over the A7R in other areas. If resolution above all else is your goal, though, you'll want to take a look at our Sony A7R review instead. Design. Externally, there's very little to tip you off to which of the two cameras you're looking at beyond their badges. The Sony A7 is just slightly heavier than its sibling, but the difference is not one you'd notice, even holding the two cameras side by side. Despite being heavier, it also features just slightly more plastic in its construction. You can tell the difference by touch. The A7's front panel is warmer plastic, and that of the A7R is cooler metal. The A7's mode dial and exposure compensation dial are also just slightly different, with coarser knurling on the former, and a slight increase in height on the latter. None of these physical differences is noticeable unless you're looking very closely indeed.